Okay, we're doing Module 2, Topic 2, Test Review Part 2. So the first thing we need to do is figure out the slope, which is the number sitting in front of x, and the number standing alone, which is the constant, is the y-intercept. When we are going to plot this, we need to first plot the y-intercept. So if I'm going to do 2/5, notice that these are going up by 2s, not by 1s. So I go up 2, 10 to 12 is 2. I go over 2, 4, and then halfway is 5. Then I go down 2, and I go over 2, 4, and halfway is 5. Down 2, oh, try that again. Down 2, over 2, 2, 4, and a little more is 5. Down 2, over 2, 4, and halfway is 5. And then I draw a line that goes through each one of those dots through the coordinate plane, and I put arrows on it. Now, do I need to keep these? No, I don't. But can I keep them? Sure. Not a problem. Okay. Next one. Now this has two equations on it. So I'm going to do the first one in blue. And anytime we have x equals a number, remember, vertical is when y equals a number. So I'm going to go to -6, which is right here on the x-axis, and then I'm going to draw a vertical line. Oh, it didn't do it. Come on. There we go. Vertical line. Then I'm going to use pink. Remember, if it's y equals a number, that it's going to be a horizontal line. So I go to y equals 4, which is right here, and I draw a vertical or a horizontal line. Okay, so on these next ones, we have through 2 points, graphing and table. We have to find the slope, the y-intercept, and the slope, write it in slope-intercept form. So first things first, I need to find the slope. So if I find the slope on this, -7 minus 5 over 0 minus 3. So my slope is -12 over -3. So when I simplify that, come on, when I simplify that, I'll get m equals 4. My y-intercept, amazing, they've already given it to me. And I write my equation, y equals 4x minus 7. Okay, and the graph. This is going in the positive direction, so that is going to be positive. I draw this. It went up 1, 2. Now, these are going up by 1 on the y-axis, okay? And going over, I went over 1 time. So my slope for this is a positive 2. My y-intercept is where it hits the y-axis, so 0, 3. And I write the equation, y equals 2x plus 3. This one, I don't care which ones you use. -7 to -6, they added 1. -2 to -1, they added 1. So the slope on this is equal to 1. Your y-intercept is right here. So 0, -5. So I just draw, or I write my equation. Now, guys, we don't write this anymore, okay? Oops, sorry. That 1 does not need to be there, because 1 times x is x minus 5. Okay. So on this next one, It says Harry participated in a 45-mile bike-a-thon to raise money for his favorite charity. The table shows Harry's time at the beginning and end of the ride. So if it goes through 0, 0, remember it's proportional. So I went up 45 here. I went up 3.6 here. So my slope, okay, it's wanting the speed in kilometers per hour. So the average speed, so I'm not looking for my slope. So 45 divided by 3.6. So hopefully you have a calculator and you do 45 divided by 3.6 and get 12.5. Now, is it okay for this one to be in a decimal form? Yes. Okay, and it's just not this, because it's just not the 12.5, because, sorry, because we have a word problem, you actually need to put the kilometers per hour on it. You can't just leave it as 12.5. Identify the dependent and the independent quantities. So remember, when it's kilometers per hour, dependent is the y, independent is the x. So this is the y, this is the x. So when I have this in parentheses, I have hour goes first, kilometer, kilometer, I can't spell, goes second. Hour is the independent, and the kilometer depends on how many hours there were. Write an equation. Okay, I just said it's proportional, so we don't have to add anything, or you can look up at the table and you see that it goes through 0, 0. Okay, so if Harry biked at her average speed for the bike-a-thon, how far would she be if she went 90 minutes? Okay, so this is in hours, boys and girls. See, it says kilometers per hour. How do we make 90 minutes into an hour? Well, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So 1 hour and a half an hour, so 1.5 hours is how much 90 minutes is. So if I have y equals 12.5x and x is the hour, I can plug in 1.5 for the x. And then I plug that into my calculator. 12.5 times 1.5. And I should get y equals 18.75 what? Hours. If Harry biked at his average speed in the bike-a-thon, how long? So we're looking for time. So we're looking for our x. He went 32.5 kilometers. So 32.5 is equal to 12.5x. Sorry. I divide by 12.5 on both sides. So 32.5 divided by 12.5. That would get me 2.6 hours is equal to the x. Okay, so this one. Remember that the equation is y equals mx plus b. So this is my slope. This is my y-intercept. Sorry. So on this first one, slope is the number sitting in front of the x, so 8/7. Y-intercept is the number that sits alone, so 0, -10. When you have x equals a number, oops, I should make that. So if it's x equals a number, it's undefined. So it has undefined. It will never hit the y-axis. This next one, it has both the x and the y, so it's a diagonal line. The slope is 5 because that's the number in front of the x, and there's nothing added. So the y-intercept is 0, 0. Okay, so we have y equals a number. So remember, when y equals a number, that 0 is my slope. The y-intercept is the number that sits alone. So 0, 2. Then on this next one, it would be negative 7 and 0. Oops. 0, 8. Okay. So this next one, it says the slope of the line that passes through this. So we need to find the slope of the line. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my slope is going to be negative 6 minus 4 over 0 minus 10. So negative 10 over negative 10 would equal 1. So my slope is equal to 1. My y-intercept is right here, so minus 6. Okay, we want to find the slope. Again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my slope is negative 9 minus 3 over negative 5 minus negative 2. That would turn to a plus sign. So my slope is equal to negative 12 over negative 3, which is 4. Find the y-intercept. There are several ways to find the y-intercept. The easiest way is just to plug it into this. So we have our slope is equal to 4. And I'm just going to pick the first point. This is my x, this is my y. I'm going to replace the y with 3, the m with 4, negative 2 plus b. So 3 equals negative 8 plus b. I add 8, and I get 11 is equal to b. So my y-intercept is 11. So write the equation of the line. Y equals 4x plus 11. Okay, next one. So I'm going to complete the table. So if I replace the x with negative 3, that would get me 9 plus 9, which is, 18. Then I'm going to replace, oh, guys, that's the y-intercept. If I plug that in, that's just that. So then I have the last one, which is negative 3 times 5. Negative 15 plus 9 gives me negative 6. Okay. Next, identify the y-intercept. 0, 9. What's the slope of the line? Well, let's find that out. I'm going to use blue. So from here to here, I went down by 9. From here, I went up by 3. So negative 9 over 3 is going to get me negative 3 is my slope. I should have put m equals. So now I'm going to graph the line. So I go to 0, 9. And I'm going to put a plot, that point right there. Then my slope is negative 3. Remember, that means it's going this direction. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and this direction. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 over here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 over here. Oops, try that again. I didn't go from that point. 1, 2, 3 over 1. I do know how to do math, guys. Down 1, 2, 3 over 1. 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 Okay. Then in order to get it totally correct, you actually have to connect the dots and put arrows on it. Now, if I checked my work, negative 318, did I get negative 318? Negative 3, if I go all the way up, does it go to 18? It sure does. Then 1, 6. If I go to 1, go up, yep, that's at 6. And then 5, if I go down to 5, that's at negative 6. So yep, I did the right stuff. So here we go. Determine the y-intercept. So the very first thing I have to do is find the slope. So it's going down by 4. It's going up by 2. So my slope is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. Then I'm just going to pick the first one. Y equals mx plus b. I replace my y value, which is 26, my m value, which is negative 2, and 3 is my x value. So 26 equals, negative 6, sorry about that, plus b. I add 6 to both sides, and I get 32 is equal to b. So 0, 32. Okay, so this one. Well, first things first, I know my slope is negative. Okay. I'm going to take it from this point to this point. Okay. How much is it going down by? Well, first of all, can you tell these are going up by tens? Oops, that's 50. So these are tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So that went down by 60. Then this is going up by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So I've got negative 60 over 40. And if I simplify that, I would get negative 6 over 4, which is negative 3 over 2. Then it's kind of hard to figure out what that is. So I'm going to say we should use this point right here. And that point right there is the point, try that again. That point is 70, 60. So I'm going to plug it in. Y equals mx plus b. I replace the y with 60, the m with negative 3 over 2, and I'm going to write this as 70 over 1 plus b, just so that it's easier. 60 equals, negative times a positive is a negative, 2 goes into 70 35 times. And if I multiply 3 times 35, okay, 3 times 5 is 15, carry my 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, so negative 105. So I add 105, add 105, so 165 is equal to my b. So y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 165.